were not really familiar with Hebrew or Aramaic phonetics wouldn't call Yeshua, Yeshua. They wouldn't know him as that. So Yeshua became known as Jesus to the Greek-speaking world for 400 years, with the name Yeshua losing 75% of its sound. The last bit of its original sound was found in the U sound. But then when Greek texts began to be translated into Latin, the transliteration of Jesus became Jesus. And this is how Yeshua's name was known for roughly the next 1,000 years. There are a few shifts in there with a few translators such as Wycliffe and Tyndale, but it doesn't really depart from the overall narrative. So when did the J come in? Why do we call Yeshua Jesus instead of Jesus? Well, in the European world, the letter J wasn't really a thing until fairly recently, like really recently in the grand scheme of language. Why? Because again, there was no J letter in ancient Latin. J was a late addition to the Latin alphabet made during the Renaissance. And in English, there was no J in super common use either. But as language evolved, which is what languages do, and especially during what's called the Great Vowel Shift during the period of what's called Late Middle English, the letter J finally came to be distinguished from I. And you can actually thank a Frenchman named Pierre Ramus in the mid-1500s for that. But J still wasn't common in English until the early 1600s. See, kids, in college, I never thought studying Middle English for 2 years and Latin for 4 years would come in handy. But here we are 25 years later, actually using what I originally went to university for. About time! Even in the first publications of the King James Version from 1611, Jesus was still spelled Jesus, just like Jehovah was spelled Yehovah. Joseph was Yosef, blah, blah, blah. But in 1629 and 1638, the Cambridge revisions of the 1611 King James were convened to correct over 1,500 simple publication errors of the original 1611 King James Bible. And it was in these revisions that J was introduced into the physical spelling of Jesus' name. In fact, the first mass published book in English to make a defined distinction in writing between I and J was the Cambridge revision of the King James Bible in 1629. And after that, it kind of like caught fire because the Cambridge revisions were used to teach English grammar rules and heavily influenced other educational books at that time. And by the mid-1600s, what was once Yeshua was now officially Jesus. No conspiracy, no Illuminati nonsense or anything like that. Ask any linguist. This is how multiple translations, pronunciations, and language over a 2,000-year period works. Languages change. Spellings evolve. In fact, to believe that there's only one way to say Jesus' name is pretty arrogant, as Jesus' name is pronounced and spelled differently in over 90 different languages. But here's the fact, as a missionary who has traveled the world and has heard Jesus' name spoken in many, many different languages, you can call him Jesus, Yeshua, Yehoshua, Jesus. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you call on him, that you develop an intimate relationship with him, that you understand that he loves you deeper than you could ever imagine. So next time you hear someone spout conspiracy nonsense about Jesus' name, forward them this so they can see linguistically the facts behind Yeshua became Jesus. God bless.
So, if ancient lost civilizations fascinate you, then you need to watch this video because the rabbit hole of lost civilizations goes so much further than you can possibly imagine. Whether it be the Persians and the grand lost city of Persepolis, or the Babylonians and their lost cosmic knowledge in the Tower of Babel, the great Sumerians, the dawn of civilization, and the colossal winged lions, the mysterious Baalbek stones found beneath the Temple of Jupiter in Lebanon, of which the builders are still unknown today, the mysterious Nubian pyramids of the Kushite Empire discovered south of Egypt, the vast wealth of Africa's Mali Empire, the mysterious sea people who had no land to call their own, but lived by boat and waged war on the ancient world's most powerful empires. But what about the New World? The colossal 40-ton Olmec heads, enormous ancient cities hiding in the dense jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula, the solid granite temples and lost pyramids of the Shaban and Moche cultures, the sprawling Nazca and Palpa lines, the enormous architecture at Tiahuanaco, the giant earthen pyramids and cities of North America, and so much more. I'm Luke Caverns. If you guys would like to learn more about these lost civilizations and information that's just not easy to find anywhere else, well, please like and follow for more.
Here's another civic superstition I have a problem with. Rights. Boy, everybody in this country's always running around yammering about their rights. I have a right, you have no right, we have a right, they don't have a right, the government has a right. Yeah, fine. Listen, folks, I hate to spoil your fun, but there's no such thing as rights, okay? We made them up. They're imaginary, like the Boogeyman, the Three Little Pigs, Pinocchio, stuff like that. It's fictional idea, rights. People say, well, they come from God. They're God-given rights. Oh, fuck, here we go again. The God excuse, the last refuge of a man with no answers and no argument, it came from God. But let's say it's true. Let's say it's true that God gave us these rights. Fine. Why would he give us a certain number of rights? The Bill of Rights in this country has 10 stipulations, 10 rights. And by the way, God must have been doing sloppy work because we've had to amend the Bill of Rights an additional 17 times. God left out a few things like slavery. Just fucking overlooked it that day. Doesn't sound like divine planning to me. Sounds more like one group trying to control another group. In other words, business as usual in the USA.
Because I had your boots are poking out. You have
Come in here when we're trying to go to bed, and then you just go and you
it's
say,
my house. If I forget something, then I know this is my house. If I want to come in here and give you lotion for your face because it is coarse, and all you tell me, no, it's fine, it's fine. No, it's not fine. You all better start respecting me. Are we clear?
yeah.
And when Robin calls, and you're all, even Robin's a fucking kid. She goes, what have you been doing to your kids? You all need to start treating me like a woman with worth. I am a woman, okay? Be nice to me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Have you lost your fucking mind? Have you lost your fucking mind? I do care, but I'm shocked as with you. And I don't know what to do. And I'm scared of you because you're weird, because you're going through puberty. I don't know what to say. But I do care more than you know. But don't be, my little body can't handle all of that. But it's like sometimes I just don't even know what to say with you. I was in shock. And I do care.
If you really cared, you wouldn't take my phone away for literally...
I was in shock in the store when I looked down, and Jaden, how are you so cool about that? Your brother being with Baron's big feet, size 13 now?
Well, he's my brother.
And all the more exposed, his feet, your blood in an ice cream shop in Alaska weather? Don't you think that's a little odd?
No.
Yeah, I think your phone should be gone.
Okay.
Yeah, for a very long time.
Yeah. For not wearing shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My phone's just gonna be taken away forever. Because you know what, Jaden? Mom decides to take it away for me not wearing shoes.
Jaden?
That's hilarious. Jaden obviously thinks
Are
that's...
you wanting attention, baby? Is that why you're saying you
Well,
can't
apparently I wanted to do that in the first place, but you keep interrupting every sentence I say. So
Wait,
what I
so-
seem like in my mind, I think you just care about yourself because you won't let us speak one word and you won't let us
Say
go
what you
anywhere
wanna
we
say.
want to go.
I want to hear what you have to say. I'm listening.
Well, I forget because you interrupt me and then I forgot what I'm going to say. That's
Do
how
you
life...
want to skate? Is that what you're doing?
No, I don't know how, and I didn't want to go to that place, and we never agreed to it.
Roller skate. I mean, ice skating, baby, is easier than roller skating.
Why are we
Roller
doing-
skating is actually harder because the grips on the ground are like raw, like rock, like that. It's smooth on-
This freaked me the fuck out.
This fact. Okay, can I share this? I don't want to be blamed.
I doubt I could stop you.
I don't want to be blamed if
Do
you
it.
cannot get to sleep tonight.
No, I'll be okay.
Okay, all right. So, this dark energy in the future will render the universe so large, having accelerated so significantly that all the galaxies of the night sky